Okay, just want to make a quick video. This one's going to be about mapping the energy. A lot of this information about mapping the energy, this is going to come out of the experiential system. It's a heavy emphasis on symbols, patterns, and principles. I don't claim to be an expert or of the experiential. I want to give it its own credit, its own credence. But what I did take from it and include in True Master was the concept of symbols, patterns, and principles. And in True Master, we talk about a lot about mapping the energy. One aspect of mapping the energy is finding the theme. Now, in finding the theme, when we talk about themes, we're talking a lot about the same themes that we find in astrology and things of that nature. Every house is a theme associated with it. Every planet, there's a theme associated with it. So this concept of themes is not anything new or foreign. But that's one aspect of mapping the energy. What do we mean when we say that? Well, kind of sticking to some of the material as far as the experiential is concerned, it's emphasized that our lives are not random, right? So in the experiential concept, our lives are not random. They're ordered into patterns, right? But as far as our conscious mind is concerned, we see the world as isolated events. Okay, I'm going to the store today. I'm trying on some shoes. Getting my car washed, whatever, just regular human stuff, right? So it's conceptualized as the conscious mind views all this stuff as just isolated events, day by day. Okay, each event from its onset to its climax can be conceptualized as a pattern because and realistically we're all going around in a circle. Everything in essence is circular in nature. When I say each event can be conceptualized from its onset to its climax, it can be conceptualized as a pattern. What I mean by this, kind of kick to this diagram right here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. So what we're really gonna be concerned with is those 90 degrees, right there from horizon to zenith. Zenith is the climax. It's gonna be a climax, horizon to zenith, and those little broken dotted lines right there. Those are indicative of the various phases that the energy goes through as it traverses from horizon to zenith. Those various different phases. It's like a football game. At first, the first phase, you'll be trying to get possession of the ball. You know what I mean? And then after you get possession of the ball, you'll be trying to score a touchdown. It'll be like two different phases of the game. I know that's like a off kind of like analogy, but just rock with me on this. So we're dealing with the progression of the energy from horizon to zenith, and you see the diagram right there. A single event and an ongoing pattern. You see what I'm saying? How a single event is a part of an ongoing pattern, and we'll kind of make more sense of that in a second, right? So I just wanted to get that diagram on screen just for a second. Okay, so we'll give a example of what I'm talking about. So an example, let's say if the climax of my day is taking a shower, right? So if I take a shower every day, then go to work, all right? The horizon point could be me stepping into my home. The climax point would be me taking a shower, and the final decline would be me going to work. So me stepping into my home, me taking the actual shower, me going to work. Whatever happens, and me doing it all over again. All right. Okay. So as you can see, our lives unfold moment by moment, and those that your whole day can be divided up infinitesimally into those different segments to represent various different moments throughout the day. So you can in this system, you can pretty much divine unlimited little slices of your day. So, okay, so what we have is I take a shower every day, then I go to work. The horizon would be me stepping into my home. The climax would be me stepping into the shower, and the final decline would be me walking out of the house with my work clothes on to go to work, right? Okay, so what if I need more relevant information than that? Okay, that's just an example of how the placement of this, how this format works. Okay, so what if I need more relevant information than that, such as, let's say, like why I freeze up in situations. Let's say if I have important situations that come up or whatever, and at the moment of truth, I just freeze up. Okay, you create the situation. Let's see, an exercise would be to recreate the situation with the moment that you freeze at the climax point, right? So in the scenario of me freezing up or something like that, or an individual freezing up or whatever case may be, that would be the zenith of it. So if I was going to arrange this situation in this format or whatever, I would, let's say if I have some sort of meeting or something like that, the horizon would be me walking into the meeting room. The zenith would be me freezing up at whatever point, and then the final decline, I guess, would be me leaving the event or whatever case may be. So that's just an example. So what if I wanted to know what I was doing wrong to make me freeze up, okay, in these situations, right? So I just kind of want to get the chart out there so you kind of see it. Okay, so we're back to the theme, right? If I wanted to know what was making me freeze up in these situations, to get that information, I would have to understand what the theme is. Most of the time, let's see, an unfavorable experience is caused by not honoring yourself, a bad relationship to a principle. Okay, so I've said that a lot. What does that actually mean? A bad relationship to a principle. Okay, so in practical terms, according to the Xperiential, we're gonna lean a lot on that in this video. According to the Xperiential, the meaning is in the mean. That's the brother's terminology. So if I was to take 3 seemingly unrelated random occurrences when I freeze up, right? So I take 3 of these times that I just freeze up and lose and break structure, basically. And I format them just like how we did just then on that diagram, right? With the moment of me freezing at the zenith, okay? These would likely be 3 different scenarios in the environment, the people who were there, and the situation itself, right? So you review the details of the various situations. You outline them on that diagram like how we just did. Review the details of the various situations. Find the common theme. Find the common theme in it. The theme, this is the principle at work. So when you take these 3 incidents that to our conscious mind seem like 3 totally isolated events that are just occurring randomly, and you take, and the only common factor that you understand is that feeling of you freezing up, or that happening, that situation of you freezing up. You take those 3 occurrences and you find the common theme in it. So that's the principle at work. Okay. The next thing would be understanding what you did in relation to that principle that caused the situation to end unfavorably. You know that it's some bad relationship because the situation ended unfavorably in your experience. So that's the bad relationship with the principle. Okay. Let's see here. You think of a time, comparatively, think of a time when you were in a situation with the same theme. So now you have the theme. So now you think of a time that you were in a situation with the same theme at work, but you had a favorable outcome. All right. So what did you do differently in relation to that principle? What adjustments could be made? So the pattern, you observe another time when you had the pattern and you had the favorable experience, because that's really your gaze toward and away from. Whether you want to be a part of something or you want to be away from it. So if you had a favorable experience and you would desire to repeat that experience, obviously you did something right. So whatever you did in that situation, you make the adjustment. And really, that's the message that's trying to be conveyed. Whatever you need to do or adjust in order to balance that relationship with that principle, or in order to do the situation right to have a favorable experience. So let's see, whatever adjustment in your handling of the situation that needs to be made is the message that the subconscious mind is trying to communicate to you by having you experience that pattern. This is not just present in the one situation, it is a pervasive theme in everything you do. So consciously, these events that we're experiencing seem like isolated events. They just seem random. But when you understand that they're ordered in patterns, and then you can take the pattern and you can analyze the anatomy of the pattern, and you can kind of see the theme behind the pattern and what you may be doing right or wrong, and you can adjust it. It kind of leads credence to when we understand that the world that we live in is a little bit less real than we assume. And over time, the side effect of this, if you can call it a side effect, over time, the side effect of this is the perception of patterns this way will present itself as an intelligence communicating with the person. So over time, if you do this enough, you'll start to understand that if it happens one time, then it's a pattern. So if you have a bad experience, or if it's something that happens to you, or whatever case may be, right then you'll understand that, oh, maybe I need to do something different, or dang, this happened again last time, or whatever case may be. I need to change something, or whatever case may be. You'll get the message quicker, and it's like an intelligence communicating with you. So yeah, a lot of that stuff right there was out of the experiential, but it's the functional aspect of converting situations into themes and things and principles and stuff. It's what in True Master, what I call the language of situations. So just kind of making a short video about it. I went over a little bit longer, but thanks for listening.